gets it away and has to complete the job twice. Now Davidson. And played all the way back to Roddy McKenzie in the Livingston goal, beaten already. Now Mandoni using his strength well, almost linking up with Gary Miller, using his strength to hold off Jim Laughlin. Doing well, the Livingston front man, making a second appearance today. Got a debut goal last weekend. And he'll be wanting to add to that tally today. Here he is again, getting a good head on the ball again, winning the header against Laughlin. And Livingston will be sure to use his aerial presence for the rest of the game. Mandoni. Now Mackay. And Ephraim goes sliding in on Dave Mackay. And Georgios Ephraim gets his first touch of the ball. Played just over 5 minutes, and the Cyprus international hasn't got the chance to run at this Livingston defence yet. But sliding in on Dave Mackay. Malone knocks it away. And McParland knocks it miles into the high Livingston sky here. Malone all over the back of Armandoni, and Oni, who just stood there, thought he deserved the free kick. And Mackay have to be wary of Ephraim running back here, and Mackay picks safety first, lobs it into the air, and now Malone heads it on. And Courier couldn't get his head on it, and Gary Miller will clear it away. Laughlin, he'll have to be wary here of Armandoni, and Oni has hustled and bustled his way past Laughlin, and David Winters almost linked up with Lee Griffiths, but when the striking opportunity was there for David Winters, he chose to link up with Griffiths, and the attack broke down. Chance for Livingston to get the strike away. The former United man couldn't take advantage. This time Oni goes down there, but he's got the ball back here, holding off Craig McEwen, Mandoni, and he's worked it out well. And Ephraim almost wins the ball back for Dundee, and now Dave Mackay can come forward, takes a strike, but a comfortable stop for Robert Douglas. Former Dundee man, Dave Mackay, already got 3 goals this season. Not getting there, but he's got the ball back off Ephraim here, Mackay. Ephraim holds off Mackay, and Ephraim had a shot pulled by Dave Mackay, says the referee, and we'll just have a halt in play. And Malone looks long. Courier couldn't get his head in. It's gone all the way through to Colin McMenamin. Twists and turns and just has to slide in. And McKenzie falls down on the ball and claims it well. McKenzie looking for that head of Armandoni. It looks to be a really good aerial threat for Livingston in their attack. And Lee Griffiths has got the ball back off Jim Laughlin. Just broke to him off the chest of Jim Laughlin, Lee Griffiths. Couldn't get the ball under control though, and the ball rebounded away. Just headed out by McDonald's. The Cameron back to Payton, and Shinnie and Courier just letting the ball go between them. Neither of them wanted it, but Dundee have it back. Now Ephraim might have the chance to skip past Dave Mackay here if he's got the skill. Ephraim and Mackay holding him off, and Ephraim slides in at the far post and wins the ball. And Dave Mackay, just to be a bit over physical with his challenge there, and the man on loan from Rangers, Georgios Ephraim, making his debut. Free kick given to Dundee, and the ball's been handed to the other man on loan from Rangers, Andrew Shinnie. Craig McEwen and Eric Payton up from the back for this free kick. Jim Laughlin also chipped in by Shinnie, and the ball's just been blocked away. And a big boot in the face there from Gary Miller on Georgios Ephraim, but Miller judged to win the ball, and Shinnie will jump in here with McKenzie. And Ephraim really took a big boot in the face there by Gary Miller, but the ref judged that Ephraim was just about as guilty as Miller. Here is Gary Miller now. Just skips past McHale. Still going forward here, Gary Miller. Options opening up for him. And it was Paul McHale who was judged to obstruct Gary Miller as he continued on his way to goal. Paul McHale was saying he couldn't really do much else, but standing there saying he tried to get out of the way, but ref blows for the first free kick to Livingston in this game. McParland's just placing the ball. Griffiths has walked away. He might not be interested in taking it. Danny Griffin's there also with McParland. You can be sure Armandone, his towering figure, might be a target from this free kick. It is McParland. It's aimed at the fast post, and Lachlan was diving in there to make sure no Livy head got on the end of it, but he's continued the corner. McParland will go to take this corner kick as well over in the corner. And the Livy defenders have stayed forward for this one. Murray Davidson in there, along with Chris Innes. And it's swung in and aimed at Oni, and it's just glanced off his head and gone behind for the goal kick. Again, Livingston aiming the ball high at Armandone. Trying to use his aerial threat. Rob Douglas just taking his time over the goal kick, letting the time just tick slowly away in this first half. Dundee have the lead. They know they don't need to do anything. And Shinny is offside. But Dundee know they have the best defence in Scotland. And they'll fancy the chance of holding on to this lead. Still a long way to go though. Chip forward again. One couldn't find Griffiths with a flick on. Cameron flicks it down. And the ball bounces back off Chris Innes. Now McParland holds off Ephraim and works it out into space. Now Mackay. McParland. Now Chris Innes and Colin Cameron just nips the ball off the toes off Chris Innes. Cameron going forward, doesn't have the pace to beat anyone. Now McMenamin, and he's laid off to Courier, who blasted at goal. And almost Dundee working on a second goal here at Almond Vale. Colin Cameron had the chance to take the striking opportunity himself. Laid it off to Courier. Dundee man couldn't take advantage. But Colin Cameron, you saw his age catching up with him there after nipping the balls off Chris Innes' toes. You saw Chris Innes, who's not the paciest figure in the world, catching up with Colin Cameron. McHale nods on to McMenamin, and McMenamin's worked it out to Ephraim. Malone making the run outside him, and Ephraim turns round McParland before finding Malone. Now Courier. Malone continues the run forward, but we're back to McHale. And McHale, with a wild pass, goes into the Livingston crowd on the far side, almost aimed at Paul Hegarty, who's patrolling that Livingston touchline. He'll not be wanting to lose his unbeaten record. The ball. Now Armandone takes a strike, and Lee Griffiths good knock down there for Armandone, but strike well over the bar. Douglas just being taunted by the Livingston fans here at Almond Vale. Former Livingston player, of course, and went on to bigger things with Dundee, then later Celtic. Malone's chipped that one forward for McMenamin, a bit too high for the former Livy man up front, though, for Dundee today. And a great ball by Dave Mackay's found Lee Griffiths, and Craig McEwen wasn't taking any prisoners there. He was going to take the ball and the man, and anything else that stood in his way. Get that ball off the toes of Lee Griffiths. And now Dave Mackay taking this throw in front of the Dundee fans will get the full treatment from them. And it's a long throw from Mackay, aimed at Oney at the near post, and Loughlin behind him. Make sure Oney's header got no further than that. Livingston have the second corner, first one from this near side, just on the front of the Dundee fans. McParlin takes it, aimed long at the far post, and it's nodded in, and Lee Griffiths just in front of the goal line. Has a shot blocked away. McParlin can get it back in though, just a bit too long for Oney, and it's been headed out of danger by Dundee. The referee's given a corner here. And Livingston will be looking to take advantage of this string of corners, looking to test Robert Douglas into a save. McParlin goes low this time, bit too low, and FM can pick it up, and it's come back to McDonald. Miller back out to McParlin. Now Gary Miller picks his time before launching it at the far post, nodded down, but just fouled Jim Loughlin there, Cameron McDonald. McMenamin not strong enough to beat Danny Griffin. And the referees pulled up the flag here for offside. The referee just telling Dundee to get back in line with the linesman who signalled the offside play. Loughlin looks long for Courier, who got a push. He's convinced, but nothing doing. Winter just lays it back to McDonald, who's launched that into the Livingston fans. A sliced clearance there from Cameron McDonald. Payton now. Now Courier holds off the Livingston challenge, and Courier does enough to win the corner kick, and Dundee can put the defenders back up for the corner kick. McKeown and Loughlin just sauntering their way up into that Livingston box. Eddie Malone's made the trip as well. Waiting for this Andrew Shinney corner kick, and it's swung in and it's cleared away by David Winters. Payton nods it back, and here's Shinney now. Skips past Winters, and Andrew Shinney looking for options here. Skips past Miller this time and goes for goal. Andrew Shinney saved by Roddy McKenzie, and the man who's on loan from Rangers, Andrew Shinney, played in every game so far since he joined for Dundee, only the one appearance off the bench. Appears to be a real favourite for Jockey Scott. Davidson nods it back to Andrew Shinney, who just pushed over unceremoniously David Winters there. Straightforward free kick for the referee to give, and Livingston defenders make the trip forward. Chris Innes is there at the back post, Murray Davidson also. And it's swung in looking for Oney, a bit too far back for him, and it's chipped back to Oney, and Douglas diving down manages to get both hands on it, and Murray Davidson it was who just laid it back to Armand Oney, let him have the strike on goal. McKeown. And now McMenamin works it out to Eric Payton, goes for the low ball, and diving stop by Danny Griffin stops the ball getting through to Courier. And McMenamin works hard to block that down, but Danny Griffin with a crucial interception there. Courier would have had a good striking opportunity if it had come through for him. Yeah. Is it the sun again, is it? Chip forward, and Loughlin has to watch the header. That's the kind of defensive error that can really cost a team a goal. Now Payton weighs up his options, and Griffin again with a good interception, otherwise Courier would have been in. Worked out to McDonald. And McDonald, not for the first time in this game, sliced clearance out of play on that far side. Lobbed forward, and One bundles Craig McEwen off the ball there, and Armandone, who seems to commit as many fouls as he draws. The big Livingston front man shrugs his shoulders, and he seems to feel that he didn't do anything untoward, just his physical presence more than anything else. Committing the foul, McDonald gets it away, and McHale out to Malone, just gets that ball a bit too far ahead of him, couldn't run onto it. And he's only again, no foul this time from the big Livingston man. Now McParland, chip ball forward for Lee Griffiths, and Douglas has to come running out of his area, almost out of his area completely, and the referee had a wee look at his assistant to see exactly where Douglas was, but the referee on the near side didn't raise the flag. No harm done by Robert Douglas. And Mackenzie's in here behind Danny Griffin. Ephraim's in the box. His cross is blocked though by Danny Griffin. And we're going to have a corner kick to Dundee. Andrew Shinney just going over to take. He's up in the Scotland under-21s for the get-together next week. And it's aimed at Jim Loughlin this time, and One blocks the header. I think it was going wide anyway, but Armand One manages to launch a counter-attack. The Livingston defenders running out of their area. And McHale's worked it out to Ephraim. And Mackay washed that ball onto his chest. Now Malone will be looking for options from the throw-in. McHale giving him the short option. Here is Paul McHale. And McHale now. Malone past McParland. Malone was the man going down. And it's a free kick on the near side. Andrew Shinney coming across. Armandone back in that Livingston area, helping out his defence now. Shinney goes short. Eddie Malone. And it's headed out of danger by Danny Griffin. Comes back to McHale. Chipped on. McMenamin couldn't get the ball under control. And Mackay completes the clearance. McEwen just knocks it more up than out anywhere. And Cameron leaves that ball short. Livingston almost managing to take advantage. Now here's Ephraim. Gets a chance to run with the ball now. Dave Mackay having to watch the ball, not the feet. And Ephraim losing the ball under pressure from McParland, but Ephraim works hard and stops McParland getting the ball away. Long ball forward by Mackenzie. Loughlin beaten to the ball. Now it's laid off McParland, and McHale judged to fouled McParland by the referee, going in two-footed. Did win the ball, but a dangerous tackle. Straightforward free kick. Mackay's placed this one. McParland's deciding to go into the box instead. And this chips forward, and it's almost glanced in on goal. And Dundee now can get it away. Ephraim looks long, and the ball's gone over the head of Danny Griffin. And now Courier runs through on Roddy Mackenzie. Miller's back, and Courier drives it wide of the post. But Dundee again getting in behind this Livingston defence. This time the ball too high for Danny Griffin. Danny Griffin has made crucial interceptions in this first half. This time the ball too high for him, and Courier could have had a hat-trick in this first half. Still 1-0 to Dundee. Loughlin nods it forward. Innes gets away, and he's left it short, and now FM can pick it up, puts it into the corner, and McMenamin streaks past Chris Innes. Laid off back for Ephraim. Holds off McParland, and now Eddie Malone goes into the box, and Dave Mackay back there in the penalty area can get it away. Griffiths holds off Payton now, and coming over the halfway line, Lee Griffiths still going despite the tug on the shirt by Eric Payton. Well, I thought it was a clear forward tug of the shirt there by Eric Payton on Lee Griffiths. Our referee Chris Boyle says no. And we play on here at Almond Vale. Chipped forward by Mackenzie. Winters couldn't get ahead on it. It's back with Innes. Miller punts the ball forward to no one in particular there, Gary Miller. But Lee Griffiths still down on that far side from the incident with Eric Payton. And could be in some bother there. Lee Griffiths hasn't moved since the tussle with Eric Payton on the far side. I thought Lee Griffiths was fouled. Every right to be aggrieved about this decision, but he's picked up an injury in the process. David Winters throws the ball back to Dundee, and Lee Griffiths has shaken off that knock, and he's back on the pitch now. Livingston fans still complaining about the decision on the far side while he was getting his treatment, Lee Griffiths, but it's the referee that makes the call, and you can't do anything about it once the referee's made his decision. Miller back up into the air, and McMenamin nods it forward, but Griffin gets it away. Griffiths backing into McEwen, no foul. And the ball almost breaking off Murray Davison into the path of McMenamin. Now One dropping back deep, and then Griffiths looking into the box here. Malone gets it away, but he's only knocked it as far as One. McEwen trying to get it past him, and McEwen's got the ball back now off One, but the referee is giving a throw in to Dundee. It's just a little blast of the whistle there by referee Chris Boyle. I thought he may have given a free kick to Dundee, but signalled a throw in immediately after it. Payton. And Winters helps it on. Then McDonald. And Shinney heads it on to Courier. Now we're all the way back with Chris Innes. And Roddy McKenzie will aim it up the park at Jim Loughlin. Now Davidson. And Courier and Cameron getting a bit mixed up between them. And Courier almost coming away with it, but Davidson wins it back. Winters. Now Lee Griffiths. Winters continued the run outside him, and Griffiths almost managed to work it back to him. Went back to Douglas though. And now Cameron has fouled Murray Davidson in the centre of the park. A missed stop-start the play at the moment, and Livingston will again use this set piece midway inside the Dundee half as a attacking opportunity. All the big men forward from the back. Chris Innes and Murray Davidson up there. Chip forward by Griffin, and One offside, and Dundee play that offside trap again. Doesn't do much for the heart condition of the Dundee fans, though, every time they stride out like that. Malone heads it on. Cameron gets the ball ahead of Miller. Now McMenamin, taken from behind by Murray Davidson. Legally, says the referee. Chris Innes chips it forward. Now One can help set up another Livingston attack. And, Miller's just fouled Andy Shinney there. I thought Gary Miller had the beating of Shinney, but play pulled back. Craig McEwen, the stalwart of this Dundee defence at the moment. He's been ever present since August. Chips it over to the far side, and Payton couldn't find anyone in the box there. Now McHale for Dundee's got it back. Now Malone. FM, he's got his back to goal. Chip forward, and McMenamin gets the ball caught between his feet and has to go back to Colin Cameron now. And Dundee playing the passes, looking for the spaces here. Not being pressured into playing a long ball into the box. And Ephraim, they will take a strike at goal here, and comes off Davidson. Broken into the box, though. Now Courier can hold off Chris Innes. Courier still got it on the goal line. Lays it off to Malone, and now Dundee can play the possession football again. Now Ephraim, curling shot, but Roddy McKenzie let it curl right into his arms. Livingston, though, can go on the counter-attack here. Cameron McDonald, and Lee Griffiths just doesn't quite have the pace to get on the end of that pass. But Livingston going down the other end, immediately putting Dundee back under pressure. Ennis steps forward to beat McMenamin. Payton looks long. Courier couldn't get his head on the ball, but has been missed by Griffin as well. McMenamin comes forward, lays off to Courier, who thought about to strike a goal, but it's come all the way through to Ephraim, who strikes it into the back of the net. It's a debut goal for Georgios Ephraim, and he's running over to the Dundee fans to celebrate. It's 2 goals in the first half for the first time this season for Dundee. And Dundee could be putting an end to the run of Paul Hegarty as Livingston manager. Dundee working it again well. Colin McMenamin picked up the loose ball after missing the header Courier. And it is indeed 2-0 to Dundee. They've made the chances count. And FM already a fan's favourite for the Dens Park fans. Griffiths now trying to wriggle his way past, and we're just over 10 minutes to half time here. Dundee will be looking to hold this 2-0 lead. Only nodded down for Griffiths, but Cameron wouldn't let any Livingston player link up with that ball. Shinney gets past McDonald. Now McMenamin fouled on the far side. The assistant referee on the far side flagging for the foul this time. Colin Cameron looking for options in that Dundee box, and it's headed out of danger by Chris Innes. McHale now. And Dundee have been forced all the way back into their own half. Still got possession though, the men in dark blue. Davidson couldn't get it clear. Courier's now got it. And Courier appeals to the referee for the foul, and only seems after almost cricket-like appeal from Antoine Courier. The referee signalled a foul. Payton takes it quickly. Now Colin Cameron. Now Shinney. Ephraim steps over, leaves it to McHale. Malone running outside him. McHale decides to go inside. Here's McMenamin. Gets turned, Colin McMenamin off Gary Miller. McEwen will lob it back forward again. Eddie Malone going forward here with Dave Mackay. Malone nods it past Dave Mackay, but it's gone out on the goal line for a goal kick.
Sun feels good.
And Lachlan beaten to the ball by One, but McEwen tidies up behind him to win the ball back for Dundee. Here's McDonald now. We're back to Ronnie McKenzie, who fires that one forward, looking for Livingston attack to set up, but it goes out on the touchline just between the dugouts. And it's going to be a throw into Livingston. Shinnie, the man, going down, and he's wanting a free kick, and he's not giving the ball back. Andrew Shinnie, but the referee just going over to have a word with him now. It's going to be a throw into Livingston as the Livingston fans beat the drum, trying to get their team going towards the end of this first half. Here's Innes. Now Mackay steps inside Ephraim, Dave Mackay. He's still going forward. Miller decides to leave it, and the attack's easily cut out. Malone just leaves that pass short for Georgios Ephraim, and Ephraim, who turns round past Dave Mackay, but the assistant referee already signalled for the throw in. Looked to be a close call on the near touchline. Ephraim was away. If the ball was in, Mackay knocks it high into the sky. Shinnie wins the header, nodded it out to McMenamin, and Danny Griffin will go over to tidy up. One chests it down, couldn't get turned on Mandoni, and now Colin Cameron can come away, opening up in front of him. Here's Courier, just goes outside to Colin McMenamin, up against Danny Griffin, the former Livy frontman. Now Eric Payton. Low cross for the men waiting in the box there from Eric Payton. Couldn't beat the first man. And it's back forward with Lee Griffiths, top scorer in this Livy attack today. 10 goals. It's looked tricky so far in this first half. Lee Griffiths managing to have the beating of the Dundee defence on a couple of occasions. Just a couple of misplaced passes led to the attacks breaking down. Long throw in, headed out of danger by Shinnie, and McMenamin completes the clearance. Now Griffin helps it back on. One nods it on to Lee Griffiths, but the referee's given a foul again off Armand One. And Livingston striker used to play with Partick Thistle and Wraith Rovers in Scotland. He's been away from Scotland for a bit. He's found decisions hard to come by off this referee today. Just his physical presence, a bit too much for the referee on a couple of occasions. Griffin gets it away. Now Malone, and he's got two Livy players closing in on him, Eddie Malone there, but used his trickery to get away from the two of them. And McMenamin's drawn the foul. And Dundee will have a free kick, this time deciding to leave the defenders behind, not looking for a long option into the box. And Eddie Malone now looking to take it. Eric Payton now making his way into the Livingston penalty area, and it's going to be aimed at Eric Payton at the far post. That is a bit too strong, and I think a free kick's been given anyway. Eric Payton tug of the shirt on David Winters. Mackenzie, and it's a low stinging goal kick from Roddy McKenzie. And Loughlin's long ball's being chased down here by Colin McMenamin, making Griffin play it. And it's gone out for a throw-in, but only after Colin McMenamin got a real big push off the Livingston centre-back, Danny Griffin. Davidson heads it on only as far as Colin Cameron, though, is bundled over from Armandone from the back, but no free kick this time. David Winters has chipped it forward now, looking for Lee Griffiths, who's coming in behind Jim Loughlin. But Jim Loughlin, experienced defender, plays it cool. Now Malone. Chips forward, and Courier's going to be chasing this one down on Roddy McKenzie. And Roddy McKenzie right to the edge of his penalty area. Claimed it well. Chipped forward by McKenzie. And Loughlin was fouled. Well, I thought Loughlin was fouled. I called it the wrong way. A handball given against the Dundee defender. And Livingston have a set piece opportunity again. Chipped forward, aimed at Davidson, whose head is just going to drift wide of that goal. Robert Douglas never too concerned about that header. Livingston haven't taken advantage of their set piece opportunities. Numerous corners in this first half, as well as free kicks. And with the aerial threat of Armandone, coupled with Murray Davidson and Gary Miller, all tall players. Dave Mackay as well, good header of the ball. Haven't taken advantage of their opportunities yet. Now Malone. FM just closed down a bit too much for the Dundee players, and Courier is onside here. It could make it 3 for Dundee, and it's saved by the legs of Roddy McKenzie. 4 good opportunities in this first half for Antoine Courier. He's only taken 1. The scoreline remains 2-0 to Dundee. But Courier beating the offside trap. His run was timed perfectly. Roddy McKenzie, though, doing well. Ephraim comes away from McParland now. Georges Ephraim goes down from the challenge in the second time, though, from Anthony McParland. And Dundee will have the free kick. Again, opting to leave Craig McEwen and Jim Loughlin, the centre-backs, behind. Colin Cameron's going to take it. Chipped forward, aimed at the far post. No one's there for Dundee. McEwen works it back out to Eric Payton. Shinnie gets turned and can run at McDonald now. Gets past McDonald. And I think Shinnie's managed to do enough to... Well, I thought Shinnie had done enough to win the corner kick. Looked to take a little touch off the boot of McDonald as Shinnie went past. Assistant referee, though, far better view than me. Headed on by Miller, and Payton can knock that high into the sky, and Courier thought he'd skip past Danny Griffin there. Griffiths steps inside Eric Payton, and the assistant referee's given a throw in there. I thought the referee would favour the foul, and the referee's going to have a word here with Lee Griffiths, kicking the ball away a bit petulant. You can understand why. He's had a tough first half. Lee Griffiths, the Dundee defenders, very physical with the tricky Levy front man, not letting them get the ball on the ground and running at them. And just frustration in the end by Lee Griffiths, a yellow card. McHale. Now McEwen and Jim Loughlin forward, and Dave Mackay will have to watch it. He does. Cameron sticks his head in there on the boot of Gary Miller, brave from the former Hearts midfielder. One headed forward, and Griffiths can get the ball on ahead. Worked out. Here's Cameron. Now Ephraim. And the referee has seen enough. And it's half-time at Almond It's 2-0 to Dundee. And it really should have been more. Michael Antrim Courier having 4 opportunities to extend Dundee's lead. He only managed to take the first one. But their second goal coming from Georges Ephraim on his debut. A cracking shot from the edge of the area into the bottom corner. And Dundee, having only scored 2 goals 3 times earlier this season, lead 2-0 at half-time. So then Dundee and Livingston back on the field here at Almond Vale. Livingston no strangers to comebacks, having come back from a 2-goal deficit against Morton at Capello a couple of weeks ago. But Dundee have the best defence in Scotland, and they won't be surrendering a 2-goal lead likely in this second half. Courier and Ephraim both on target. No changes in the Dundee lineup at the start of the second half. And as the second half commences, Livingston lining up like a sprint team looking to get on the end of this ball. But Malone read it and stopped Lee Griffiths getting on the end of it. And Eddie Malone wins a free kick. Paul Hegarty can't believe it, but he has to walk away. Matter of pride as well at stake for Paul Hegarty, looking to preserve his unbeaten record as Livingston manager in danger as the second half starts. 2 goals down to Dundee. McParlin misses it, and Ephraim almost winning it back off the Livingston midfielder. This time McMenamin gets set about McParland, and Ephraim it is who works it on to Courier, but just a bit too strong for the Guadeloupe international. And the ball goes all. Davidson heads it out. Winters now nods it back down, looking for Davidson again. Now McDonald and the 2 Dundee players tried to close it down, put him under pressure, and Payton could cut out his long ball. Now McDonald looking to look long here. One judged to have pushed Eric Payton and Armand One. Penalised again by the referee at the start of the second half. Had a spell in Finnish football. The tall striker, no stranger to Scottish football though. Former Partick Thistle man. Douglas looks long for the head of Antoine Courier. Griffin though nods it back out though to Andrew Shinney, and he skipped past McDonald to Andrew Shinney, but McDonald wins the ball off the toes of Andrew Shinney. Puts it out for a throw in. Eric Payton goes across to take it. Just gets the ball off Andrew Shinney. And Payton could be looking long here though. Cameron gives him the short option, but Payton insists he's going to go long. Looks for Courier, not long enough though. McDonald knocks it out, and now Winters can come away with it. Blocked though by Craig McEwen though, and McEwen still got it, but now One. And just a bit congested there on the near side. Courier now, and McEwen still forward. And Courier's eventually got his foot on the ball, but in the end loses it, and McDonald has sliced it out again. Cameron McDonald. And Craig McEwen just shows off his silky skills. Courier. And now Shinnie on the edge of this box, skips past Davidson, and it's Colin McMenamin sliding in at the far post, almost getting a third goal for Dundee. Andrew Shinnie sticking in a dangerous cross. Colin McMenamin couldn't take advantage. And it's Georgios Ephraim taking over on corner duty from Andrew Shinnie. And Ephraim with a swerving corner kick with real pace on it. On top of the keeper. Cleared away. Now Griffiths can run at Paul McHale here, Lee Griffiths, and he's taken down late by Paul McHale, and it's going to be a yellow card for the Dundee midfielder. Lee Griffiths finally getting a chance to stretch his legs and run at this Dundee midfield. And in the end, he draws a yellow card foul from Paul McHale. Dave Mackay standing over this free kick. Man with a famous name. Looking long. And cleared away by Dundee, and Colin McMenamin completes the clearance. And Courier has got the pace to get the ball off Chris Ennis. He's still going here, Antoine Courier, all by himself though, without any support. And Antoine Courier loses out in the end. Danny Griffin doing well to recover. Now Miller looks outside, but there's no one there. Cam McDonald makes up the space now. Tries to run at Andrew Shinnie. And he's decided to punt it down the line here, looking for One in the corner. But McEwen, who's looked very solid since signing up from Clyde at the start of the season, manages to hold off Armand One. No small task. Keeps Dundee with a 2-goal advantage. Courier holds off Griffin, and Courier again appeals to the referee like a spin bowler, but this time the referee doesn't go for Courier's extravagant appeal. Danny Griffin standing over the free kick, and he's looking long for Armandone. Griffiths outside him. Here is Lee Griffiths, chests it down looking for McParland. Ephraim though cuts back and blocks the pass. Stuck in the corner though now Georgios Ephraim, but he's got the skill to beat the two Livy players and gets away. Courier flicks it on, and Danny Griffin slices that clearance and is almost onto the roof, but not quite. And Ephraim judged to commit the foul on the far side. Livingston have the free kick. Mackay just waiting for the Livingston players to make their way up into the box. Murray Davidson and Gary Miller deciding to stay outside. And Shinnie puts his own defence under pressure there from the defensive header. Lord launching it back towards Robert Douglas, but here's Shinnie going forward this time. Now Payton with the ball at his feet, and McParland blocked the pass. Malone bundles over Lee Griffiths. Stops the Livy man getting a run at this Dundee defence again, because he's shown already at the start of this second half, Lee Griffiths. He's got the pace to put the defence under pressure. Dundee will have to watch him as this second half progresses. And Mackay with this throw-in. Now One. Now Winters looking for a wide man. Finds McParland on the near side. Payton staying with him, and it's a chip ball, and it's easily cleared by McEwen. McDonald, the poor pass Cameron McDonald, and McParland doesn't bother chasing it. Payton gives it to Colin Cameron, making his first start here today, and Courier again's beaten the offside trap between Griffin and Ennis, and Mackenzie it was who had to come up and make up for the defensive lapse. Holding a bit of a high line, the Livy defence. Courier's taken advantage on several occasions. Only the one goal though. laid back to Payton, who almost lets the ball run between his feet, but in the end shown the touchline by McParland. And Livy can restart from the throw-in. McDonald looking long. This comes off One, and McEwen launches it back towards the Livy defence. Now Davidson back to goal, chips it on, and Payton can win it back. Here's Shinnie now. Now McHale launching the strike at goal. Danny Griffin completes it though, and Lee Griffiths backing into Jim Laughlin. Wins the ball. Now McParland looking over to the far side for some space, but Ephraim can cut it out and run forward, and Cameron with a flicked header almost giving Ephraim the chance to run at the Livingston defence. Now Griffiths can get turned here and will fancy his chances running at Eddie Malone, but just a foot put in by Eddie Malone nips the ball off him. Miller runs into the back of Andrew Shinnie, and in the end he's fouled Andrew Shinnie, says the referee. Free kick given. Now Shinnie. Now McMenamin and McHale can try and put a little through ball for Courier, but this time manhandled by Chris Innes, wouldn't let him get past the defensive line. But Livingston continue with the high defensive line, and Dundee could catch them out again. Courier's already shown he's got the pace to beat them. Doesn't seem to have his striking boots on today though, Courier. Only the one goal from his 4 attempts. Here's McDonald looking into the box, and Mandoni almost getting a touch on the ball ahead of Robert Douglas, but Douglas got there just in time, running out to the 6-yard area. McMenamin couldn't get ahead in it, and Griffiths gets it away. Now Laughlin and Cameron can work it into space now, and here's Georgios Ephraim, and he'll get the chance to run at Dave Mackay here, the Cypriot, and he'll get the ball in, and it's cleared away by Danny Griffin, but only as far as the penalty area, and Andrew Shinnie's header almost find his way into the back of the net. Andrew Shinnie close to his first goal for Dundee, but Roddy McKenzie tips it over. And now Andrew Shinnie going over to take this corner kick, and Jim Laughlin and Craig McEwen are up for this corner kick, and it's no one at the far post. Malone looking at the header, and Livingston were all drawn to the near post there from the corner kick. Eddie Malone and Jim Laughlin at the far post. Either of them could have taken advantage, and Livingston will now take the opportunity to make a substitution from the goal kick. Jason Talbot, the man coming on. And it's Gary Miller substituted off. Jason Talbot on the front of the match programme today. Does that mean he'll score? Often means that he'll have a good game if he's featured in the programme. One wins the ball off Laughlin. Chip ball looking for Griffiths, and Griffiths will have the pace to keep this one in. And Craig McEwen sticks to Lee Griffiths. Helped on, and Laughlin will just glance that one off the back of his head towards Robert Douglas. And now McEwen. Payton looking for space on the near side, and this chip forward looking for Courier. This time no one's going forward, and Roddy McKenzie has to come out because Georgios Ephraim it was who was creeping in at the back of the penalty area there, and there was no one back from the Livingston defence. Innes looking long, and Oni can flick it on. No one on him. Now Griffiths, who doesn't quite have the strength to hold off the Dundee defence, but a bit too physical this time, the Dundee defence. And Lee Griffiths has won the foul. The referee just telling them where the initial foul was committed. And the Livingston drum can beat again as they look to take advantage of this set piece opportunity. Lee Griffiths will fancy his chances himself. And he'll take the strike, Lee Griffiths, and it's gone wide to the far post. Robert Douglas was comfortable with it, kept a close eye on it. Chipped forward by Douglas. Shinnie couldn't keep it in, aside for a free kick. Throw in, sorry. Getting my set pieces mixed up. McDonald's looking long, and Oney can head it down for McParland. Now Davidson. Mackay making the run on the far side in space, and he's found him here. Murray Davidson. Mackay can get it in the box, but Loughlin reads it and knocks it away. Mackay's got it back now. Looking for options in the area. Might go himself. Blocked away by the Dundee defence. And now Jason Talbot looked to be lining up a shot from miles out there. McDonald will go for goal though, and Douglas straight down his throat. And Dundee hold on to the clean sheet, but Livingston looking more dangerous now. And the Livingston support here, urging the team on ever more. Douglas looks to set up another attack. Payton though keeps it in. Skips past McParland, and the ball's out of play there. And Dundee captain couldn't keep it in. Payton blocks it away. Griffin. Chip forward, and Oney heads it down for David Winters. Thought about a strike. In the end, couldn't keep a hold of the ball, and has gone away. McDonald heads into the centre of the park. Cameron heads it back out again, and McMenamin with a wild clearance just goes up into the Dundee fans. McDonald will take this throw in. Looking long. McHale couldn't get a good hand on it, but McCune will stick his boot through it, and it's launched all the way through to Curry, who bundles over Chris Ennis. Referee will play the advantage though. Davidson still on the edge of the centre circle. Now Talbot gets round Paul McHale, and Jason Talbot can run at them. Now David Winters, and Ephraim comes back. Nearly fouled him. Winters keeps going though. Oney with a little deft header looking for Anthony McParland, and Mandoni just maybe being a bit too fancy. Livingston looking to get strikes on goal and take advantage of the chances they get. Mandoni maybe a bit fancy. Talbot, and now Davidson. And a little fancy footwork there from Payton though, has got away from Davidson. Now is Georgios Ephraim, got the second goal today, and he'll get the chance to run in here. Now out wide to Malone. Davidson tries to cut him down, but Malone's still going. Now Ephraim might fancy a second goal of the day here. Georgios Ephraim. McKenzie beats it away, and it almost goes in the far post. Curry was looking there, but from a yard out, the Livingston defence just manages to hold Courier out. Dundee though still going forward. Shinnie. McDonald there trying to close down the cross, and McDonald does just that, but Dundee have the corner kick, and Dundee come ever closer to the third goal. Georgios Ephraim again proving tricky on his Dundee debut. Shinnie over to take this corner kick. McMenamin just coming short. Griffin comes down to close the angle. Cameron though not quite quick enough to pick up the ball, and now Livingston can come running forward. McParland over the halfway line, and Shinnie and Payton are there to cut down the angle, but they've also cut down McParland, and it's going to be a Livingston free kick. And the referee has taken his time here, and he's decides to have a quick word with one of the Dundee players. No one's coming over. The referee definitely signals for someone to come forward, and it's Craig McCune, I think he's wanting to have a word with. And indeed it is Craig McCune who's having a little chat with the referee. And it's going to be a yellow card for Craig McCune. And it's a one-match suspension for the Dundee defender. 5 yellow cards so far this season. And the free kick almost finding a way through. And it's a last-ditch clearance from Jim Laughlin before David Winters could get on it. And now Dundee can come forward with the counter-attack again. Cameron with the ball forward. Courier almost getting behind Danny Griffin. But McMenamin wins it back off Danny Griffin. Courier outside McMenamin here. And McMenamin almost finds him. And Mackenzie picks up the ball. But McMenamin seems to be caught in two minds there, whether to go for it himself or play through Courier. In the end, did neither. Mackenzie just picked the ball up. And Livingston wanting to have a little pause here to make another substitution. And it's going to be Andrew Halliday coming on for the Livy Lions. And David Winters, the man who's going to be going off, former Dundee United front man. And the Dundee fans will be pleased to see the back of a former Dundee United front man. I'm sure you would have loved to get one over the team that played across the street. Mackay looks long and Payton can get it away. Talbot knocks it back in. And Halliday gets his first touch on the ball and gets it back. Here's Talbot. Skips past McHale. Now McParland. Looks forward looking for Dave Mackay, who just won't quite keep that ball in. And it's out of play. And Dave Mackay shows his frustration, booting that ball high into the stand behind the goal. Just wasting a bit of time. And frustration starting to show in this Livingston attack. Still 2 goals down. And the Dundee defence, best in Scotland, holding firm at the moment. Can't see a thing. It's not my day. Dropping everything. Cameron couldn't quite get the head on the ball, and Talbot nodded it on, and Lee Griffiths was almost through there, just a bit too high for the Livingston front man, and he would have fancied his chances running at this Dundee defence. Crucial interception though. McDonald can restart the play from the throw-in. Halliday coming short to give him the option. McDonald looks long. One nods it down. Davidson tried to get it to Halliday. Blocked away though. Shinnie boots it into the ball of McDonald's head. And the ball just ricochets away for throw-in. And it's going to be McDonald again from the throw-in. One nods it down looking for Griffiths in the box, but not quite enough power on the header from Armand One. Ennis clears it away. Now McEwen out to the near side with Andrew Shinnie. Halliday harrying him. Payton looking long. And McMenamin's found Courier from the ball over, and Courier slices the shot wide. And Courier again gets a shot on goal. And a good sight on goal as well. Had his time to size up the shot. But the Dundee front man misses the target. And he could easily have had a hat-trick today, Courier, as it is only the 1 goal. And Dundee's top scorer this season will maybe be getting a bit frustrated. Still 2-0 though, to Dundee. Payton, just take his time over this throw-in. Not a forward, and Courier will hold off McDonald. Back to Eric Payton now, and chips forward looking for McMenamin, who's running through, but Innes just has to nod the ball out. Colin Cameron back to Courier, can't get turned, so has to just lay the ball back to Cameron, who's played through Andrew Shinnie here, and Murray Davidson has taken down the Scotland under 21 player. Got called up to the squad last week, and Dundee will have the set piece chance. And the referee's just going to have a word with Murray Davidson here. That's Callum McDonald actually, who's going to have a chat with. And referee just taking the name and number, just having a word with him. And it's a yellow card for the Livingston defender. It's for the set piece free kick. Livy have to make plans for the big Dundee central defenders. Loughlin and McEwen. Shinnie takes it and is headed away at the near post by Murray Davidson. It's going to be a corner kick this time to Dundee. Shinnie goes over to take it. Dundee defenders stay forward. McEwen and Loughlin. Malone in there also. Shinnie will take it. Right footed, aimed at the far post and is headed in by Loughlin, but free kick is given over the back of the Livy defender, Jim Loughlin. And Livingston will be eager to get on with this. Mackenzie looks forward. Now McParland, and he's got turns, but Malone will clear it away before Griffiths can get in the end of it. And Livingston get the ball play restarted quickly by brandishing a ball from the dugout out of seemingly nowhere. Oni steps back. He's backed into the corner though by Malone, but Oni gets turned to win the corner kick. Anthony McParland will take the corner kick, and Livingston, time running out, 20 minutes to go. And it's taken, aimed at Chris Ennis, who nods it on. Now Davidson flicks on to the far post, and Michael let that one run out. Armandoni was a man at the far post that Davidson was trying to aim for. Couldn't get turned quick enough. And Dundee will be quite happy to let this game peter out, claim the 3 points, move forward. Talbot couldn't get there ahead of Shinnie. McDonald cuts it out, and Davison win the ball off Shinnie. Then Malone. And it's played into the corner here, looking for Ephraim. Mackay will try and wash it out of play though, and Mackay does just that. Experienced defender now, Dave Mackay. Cameron just couldn't find McMenamin, and reason he couldn't find him, McMenamin was fouled. The referee taking his time before making the decision again, weighing up all the potential options, looking to play advantage. It's going to be a free kick though. Shinnie's placed the ball. Ephraim also over it, and Ephraim just walking away now. Shinnie takes it though. A low free kick headed out by Davidson. Comes back to Ephraim though. Tries a shot. A bit sclaffed though. And Livingston can come away with it. Talbot aimed at Griffiths, and Michael will have to be careful here because Griffiths can get in behind them. And here's Griffiths still going, and he's bundled over from the back by Eddie Malone. And the referee is calling over Eddie Malone, and Livingston fans want the red card. Likely to be just a yellow though. Plenty of Dundee players back to stop any progression by Lee Griffiths. Not a clear goal scoring opportunity. And indeed is still just a yellow card for Eddie Malone. Livy again have a set piece opportunity in the centre. Possibly just a bit far out for a striker goal though. Danny Griffin, Anthony McParland, Murray Davidson, all standing over it for the Livingston side. And it's McParland, and it's gone off the post and into the back of the net. And Livy are back in this game. Robert Douglas is beaten. A fantastic free kick by Anthony McParland. Game on at Almond Vale. Fantastic free kick. Couldn't place it much better, in off the post. I said it was maybe a bit far out. Well, McParlin has showed me to be wrong. Now Payton and Dundee will have to be careful here, because they've had the opportunities to put this game beyond doubt. And with Livy back in the game at 2-1, they showed against Greenock Morton a couple of weeks ago, they can come back from seemingly the dead. And Dundee might be made to rue those missed chances. McDonald's looking long. Now here's Halliday. Gets turned and looks forward. Loughlin, though, cuts out the pass, and Lee Griffiths looking in behind. And Griffiths is the kind of player that give him a chance to run out this Dundee defence, will run right by them. On to Robert Douglas. Courier manages to hold off McDonald, though, and he's got the corner kick, and Dundee can send the central defenders forward. Loughlin and McEwen. Dundee still going for the goals. They're not looking to hold out for the 1-goal lead. Shinnie takes it, and it's aimed at McMenamin, and it's easy take for Roddy McKenzie. And McKenzie just takes his time letting the players get forward. And Payton, though, doesn't let Lee Griffiths get in the end of that long free kick. Mackay, though, wins it off Ephraim, and Mackay can find Halliday on the far side here. And it's Andrew Halliday, the substitute, and he's laid it into the box, and a low ball could have found Armandoni with a easy opportunity in front of goal. Blocked away, though, and Livingston seem to have an extra spring in their step since the goal. And so do the Livy fans. Livingston drum seems to be a bit louder, trying to urge the players on for the equalising goal. Ephraim's won it in the centre circle off the missed pass by Davidson. Ephraim still going. Looking outside now. Here's Eric Payton. Ephraim continues to run onto the outside wing. Now Cameron just slowing the play down. Ephraim eager to get on with it. Runs at Jason Talbot. Georgios Ephraim. He's been backed into a corner, though, by the Livy defence, but Ephraim has won a throw in. Good running by the Cypriot International. Run right across the pitch there. Eager to get on with it, though, when Cameron tried to slow the play down. It's hungry for more. Georgios Ephraim on loan from Rangers. Courier holds off McDonald. Now Payton. And Andrew Shinnie lays it off to Courier, who's onside. Payton into the box, and Livy can get that one away. Ephraim, though, will try and stop McParlin getting it away, though. Griffiths gets Malone turns, but Malone washed the ball well and wouldn't let him onto it. And the missed pass here, and Lee Griffiths fouls Jim Loughlin. And Lee Griffiths was almost in there for what could have been an easy chance to get in the end of it. And the referee's been called over by the linesman. And Lee Griffiths has already been yellow carded. And the referee is going over to Lee Griffiths, and Lee Griffiths has been sent off. Well, the referee seemed eager to let the play stop with just a foul, but went over to the linesman, and it was the linesman on the far side who alerted him to the foul. Maybe something was said, but the referee brandished the red card, and now the referee wants more words, this time with Chris Innes, I think. I think Innes must have been a bit verbal with someone he shouldn't have been over on the far side. But Livingston have to play out the remaining 15 minutes here with 10 men as they look for the equalising goal. And it's Lee Griffiths, the man who was sent off. Tricky player for Livingston, could have been a goal threat. And Paul Hegarty will have to look elsewhere as he reshuffles his Livingston team. And it's a yellow card for Chris Innes as well. Just a bit too verbal. And the referee having another word with the linesman. And calling over someone else here. The referee, Chris Boyle. It's a card frenzy. This time Dave Mackay gets a yellow card. The Livingston defenders must have been furious with the linesman over on the far side. Now Paul Hegarty having a talking to by Chris Boyle. And it is just a talking to for Paul Hegarty. But Chris Boyle has put himself in the centre spotlight. A red card to Lee Griffiths and yellow cards for Dave Mackay and Chris Innes. And that might just be enough for Dundee to see out the game for the 3 points. And Paul Hegarty, considering his options, still got one substitute left as he looks for equalising goal. Shinnie still going forward, so he wins off Talbot. And now Cameron looking for Courier. McMenamin though gets ahead on it, and Courier will get there ahead of Danny Griffin. Courier backed into the corner by Griffin, goes inside to Shinnie, just a bit too far ahead of the man on loan from Rangers. McEwen can pick up the clearance though. Now Laughlin, the man who Griffiths fouled for that yellow card foul. McMenamin bundles over McParland, and McMenamin still going on the far side. He was looking to get a cross into the far post, aimed at Andrew Shinnie. Brings the ball down and turns away. And has come to Cameron on the edge of the area now. Now McHale. And now Colin Cameron and Dundee. Keeping the ball well on the edge of the area though. Courier had an arm round him in the box though, no penalty kick. And the clearance aimed at Courier, and McHale almost taking advantage of a fortunate clearance. Griffin firing the ball right into the side of Courier. Payton lobs it forward. Now McDonald cleared away again, and Oni couldn't get touching the ball this time. And Douglas restarts the play quickly, and the atmosphere around Almond Vale has turned a bit red since the red card for Lee Griffiths. Livingston fans incensed by the referee. Oni helps it on, looking for Halliday, and the ricochet almost fell fondly for Armandoni. Couldn't take advantage though. And Eddie Malone will slow the play down again from the throw-in. It's Paul Hegarty. Barks out more instructions to his team, trying to get his team reshuffled. Malone looks forward, and Griffin can get it away. Now Oni. McHale flicks it on towards that Livingston backline, but no Dundee player there to take advantage. Now Malone. FM can pull it down. Courier almost getting turned there, but Talbot can pick up the loose ball. Now Mackay. You got yellow carded in that flurry by Chris Boyle. Oni almost getting away from McEwen, but McEwen in at the back of Oni, and McEwen just bringing the header down before Halliday could take advantage. Now Payton just choosing the short option, and Halliday is lurking behind Colin Cameron here, and Payton almost puts Colin Cameron in a real spot to bother, but the midfielder has the experience to deal with situations like that. Courier goes down, and no free kick. Now McParland out to Mackay, steps inside Ephraim. Now Davidson, and Colin Cameron almost winning it, and Ephraim can come away with it now for Dundee over the halfway line. Murray Davison put in the tackle, and Ephraim almost got the ball back from the 1-2 with Courier. McParland can cut inside now for Livingston. Now Griffin out the far side looking for Mackay, can cut inside and knocked away by McEwen. Now Shinnie And Ephraim has acres of space over on the far side. And Ephraim has the ball now for Livingston. Running at Chrysinis, Georgios Ephraim here. Goes inside and has a strike at goal, Georgios Ephraim. And the ball drifts across the face of goal. Mackenzie didn't have that far post covered, but looked to know the ball was going wide. And Georgios Ephraim already with 1 goal today would have made absolutely certain of the points for Dundee. Loughlin gets the ball away before Davidson can get in the end of it. Now Cameron just slows the play down again. Payton now. Dundee looking to really let their seconds tick away here at Almond Vale, playing the passes. Livingston can score if Dundee have the ball. That's the philosophy adopted at the moment. Back with Douglas. Now Malone coming forward for Dundee. McMenamin holds it up. Courier, good touch on the ball to control it. A bit of a wild pass by McHale. Good touch though by Courier. Now Cameron. And Shinney. Now McMenamin gets turned now. And Payton. And Cameron and Dundee really playing these short passes accurately now. Gradually working their way up towards that Livingston area. Now Payton, and Payton can get across in now. Well, McParland comes across to cut out Payton's run. Not give him the chance. And Innes just delays before clearing it, but he's given it right back to Dundee. And Dundee can play the possession football again. McHale. Now McMenamin running into the box here. And he's cut the ball back across, but there's no one there. McHale's now won it back off Mackay though. And Mackay clears it away, but Ephraim picks it up on the edge of the box. And a strike, curling strike by the Rangers man. Flies just over the bar. And now Livingston will make the final change. Our last roll of the dice for Paul McHale. They're taking off the goal scorer, Anthony McParland, who scored with that fantastic free kick. Keegan Jacobs, the man coming on. And it's a last roll of the dice for Paul Hegarty. 5 minutes to go. Looking to preserve that unbeaten record as Livy manager. And Shinney taken out late there by Halliday. Referees a shrug of the shoulders saying, what can I do? It was a straightforward free kick. Payton just spots the ball. Now McEwen, and Dundee will set about the possession play again. Payton over to the side now with Colin Cameron. Skips inside the tackle of Keegan Jacobs. Colin Cameron might fancy a strike at goal here. It's gone back out though. Now Malone. Loughlin. And Shinney can bring it down off the tackle of Jason Talbot. And now Dundee wanting to make their first change. It's going to be just waiting to see who's going to be taken off by Jockey Scott. It's going to be Paul McHale. Straight swap in the centre of the park, and Chris Poznak dropping out to the starting lineup today for Colin Cameron comes off the bench. And it's a case of fresh legs in the centre of the park for Dundee. Here is Pozniak. Steps inside. Now Shinney. And Payton. And Shinney again. Pozniak just fired that ball at Colin McMenamin. McMenamin didn't really have a chance to control it, and the attack breaks down, but Livingston again just punting the ball away, giving the ball right back to Dundee. And Dundee more than happy to oblige with possession. But McMenamin's giving it away now to Talbot. Mackay steps inside, and Mackay looking to run here at the Dundee midfield, but he's run straight into Colin McMenamin, who stayed down. And the ball's played forward. McEwen. Now Shinney. McMenamin still down. And the referee has halted play for the injury on McMenamin, but he's up straight away. And the referee will restart with the bounce ball. Keegan Jacobs not too happy about giving the ball back to Dundee, but he obliges. Payton steps inside Jacobs. Now Cameron. Bit easier to identify Colin Cameron after his younger brother, Paul McHale. The two of them look identical. Has been taken off by Jockey Scott. Courier almost getting away, and Oney can bring it down, looking to hold up the ball for the Livingston midfield, but no one was coming forward to give Oney the option, and he couldn't hold off the Dundee defence forever. Now Shinnie works the ball over to Eddie Malone. Now Ephraim. Cameron now, and Eddie Malone just plays the ball down the line, looking for Courier, who can't quite keep it in. Antoine Courier. And Livingston will look to get the play restarted quickly. Mackay with the long throw in. Davidson couldn't head it on. And now Oney with a long ball, and Dundee have to be wary of Andrew Halliday running in at the back post. And the Livingston fans appealing that Robert Douglas was out of his area. The assistant linesman, though, was having a good look at it on the far side, and he didn't flag. McDonald heads it on though, and now Talbot wins the ball off Chris Posnack, and Talbot still running forward, lays it off to Andrew Halliday. Shinnie comes across to close him down, and the ball aimed at Armand Oney, just too high for Armand Oney. And the ball runs right the way over to the far touchline, and Oney can't keep it in. A bit too casual there, the Livy front man, and it's a punch of the air in frustration from Paul Hegarty. And, well, now Paul Hegarty's expression completely changes. Colin Cameron a bit casual with the passes this time. Oney wins the corner, making up for his slack play earlier. Danny Griffin going over to take the corner kick. And Livingston, as the time ticks up to 90, looking for the goal. And Murray Davidson had his header cleared away by Colin McMenamin. And Courier still running forward, gets the ball and still going forward. And the ball has been knocked out for a throw in. And the Livingston drum urges the team forward, entering stoppage time now. Eddie Malone taking his time, walking forward to take this throw in. And doesn't have any options, Eddie Malone, from this throw in. Shinnie now giving him the option, decides to go with Posnack. And Malone, and Posnack plays it down the line. Ephraim gets turned off Mackay. And the attack breaks down, but Dundee have it back. Shinnie. Ephraim outside him. Shinnie, though, looks inside, though. Here's McMenamin, twists and turns away from Innes, and he's played it right across the face. And Antoine Courier couldn't get in the end of it. Remains 2-1 to Dundee. And it looks like Dundee might just hold out for the 3 points. Still playing, though, at Almond Vale. McEwen loses it in the header. Loughlin clears it away, though. McEwen couldn't get in his head in it. And now McDonald will play it forward again, looking for Jacobs. And Posnack loses it. And Davidson has recovered the ball. And Payton almost pushes Davidson out of the way to get the ball. And now McDonald plays it into the box. Helped on its way by Posnack. And now Ephraim has it. And Ephraim has cleared it away. Mackenzie now launches it high into that Livingston air, looking for the Livingston attack. And it really is time for desperation from Livingston. The 10 men of Livingston. Lee Griffiths, the man sent off. The long throw in by Mackay. Helps on by Oney. Jacobs in the box. Can't get turned. Has to go back to Mackay. Back with Jacobs now, the substitute. Runs off Posnack, and Cameron cuts out that pass. And Oney coming in behind him, and Colin Cameron gets lucky. And sliced back to the Dundee defence, and McEwen can get it away. Now Shinnie. Skips past Talbot. And Shinnie puts his defence under pressure again with a crazy pass. Now Loughlin and Dundee giving themselves problems from these passes. Ephraim Just taking his time over this run forward, trying to tick away a few more seconds, but he's given it away. Now Jacobs, play it through to Talbot, running at the heart of this Dundee defence. Halliday outside him. Here is Halliday. Chipped at the back post, aimed at Davidson, and it's cleared away. Cameron, just with a little final touch of the ball, and Dundee have the 3 points, a hard-fought 3 points. They had by far the bulk of the opportunities. Antoine Courier could have had at least a hat-trick, 4 or 5 great opportunities for the Dundee front man. He only took one, giving Dundee the lead after a minute. Georges Ephraim also having a heap of opportunities. He could have had a hat-trick himself. In the end, he got the second goal, giving Dundee a 2-0 advantage. Anthony McParlin pulled it back for Livingston with a great free kick, but the game really ignited towards the end. Lee Griffiths, the man sent off, and it was all hands to the pumps for Livingston as they looked for a desperation last gasp equaliser. But it wasn't forthcoming. Dundee hold on for the win. It's 2-1 Dundee, and they're ever closer to St Johnstone.